don't do it. Dale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Thanks,
3.
Well, now let's turn to Libya, where the fighting continues in Tripoli, but the whereabouts of Muammar Gaddafi are still unknown. And trying to make sense of what this all means is our Middle Eastern expert joining Javier this morning. So interesting to see what's happened in the past year between Egypt's leader and now we've got, obviously, Gaddafi's fall.
Yeah, and what they're calling an Arab Spring, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Now to Libya. Talking about Libya, it's a very fluid situation. CNN is now reporting rebel fighters have attacked the Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi's compound. Now, whether that leader is still there is unknown, or where his whereabouts are still unknown. We're joined this morning by the president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Thank you for joining us this morning. After 42 years in power, what they're calling a reign of terror, is it safe to say we are witnessing a revolution?
Absolutely. I mean, the Libyan people have finally taken that wave of change, of social transformation that we've seen in the Middle East, and now the rebels have closed in on Tripoli, and we're seeing that the Gaddafi regime, the tyrants, are going away. We still haven't confirmed that he's gone, and they're circling his compound, but at the end of the day, his days are numbered.
They were saying that the capital was going to be toppled. There's confusion this morning. Who's in power? What do you make of all this, especially with his sons coming out last night and saying, no, we broke the backs of those rebels?
Well, you know, this is business as usual in the current environment of a dictatorship in the Middle East, is that it's usually chaotic. Getting information is very fractured, and the rebels, as much as they want to make it very positive and that they've made a lot of gains, it's sort of society as it is under dictatorship. The information's weak, it can be fractionated, you don't know who to believe, but at the end of the day, I think looking from the intelligence that they've gotten through NATO, et cetera, it looks like he is going to be going. The question is what the Transitional National Council is going to do once he leaves. Well, they've been united against the common threat of the regime and the militancy of Gaddafi, but once he leaves, will they be able to transition into a functional democracy? And the next few days to week will really show that.
Talk about the U.S.'s involvement in this, and I want to pull up a statement issued by Arizona Senator John McCain. Now, he gave kudos to the president for the handling of Libya, but also said that the U.S. could have been more aggressive. What is your take on the U.S.'s stance, especially as a supporting cast as part of NATO?
Well, you know, many of us have said as we waited for the president to lead, he often came too late to each of these changes, especially in Syria. The Syrian people have been waiting months and months as they got devastated and murdered by their government. And finally, Secretary Clinton and President made a statement about it. And with Libya, we saw that we led from behind, and it's been very passive-aggressive. And if you want to rebuild American respect and American moral leadership and have us become that soft power that Secretary Gates talks about, we need to be more frontal. We need to discern who our friends and who our enemies are, and not just sort of wait and put our fingers up in the wind and wait for the strong horse, because that's really got us to the low polls that we have in the Middle East right now, and I hope we can reboot that now that we see changes happening in Libya and elsewhere.
Really quickly, Tara had talked about it. Talk about the Arab Spring as we've seen a fall in Tunisia, Egypt, now Libya, possibly Syria.
Yeah, our families that came to the U.S. for freedom are seeing this change that is just truly jubilant as far as the changes. I mean, we love what's happening. It's truly a revolution. But to call it a spring, you know, it's almost like the avalanche in the middle of winter. You finally cleaned out and you can breathe, but it's still the middle of winter. You don't know what's going to happen. There's no organization. There's been a nuclear winter, if you will, of no political infrastructure. So they're going to be like infants, just finally getting their legs and walking around and developing new groups and organization and parties. It's going to take another, you remember, it's been 2 generations of suppression and oppression. It's going to take them another few generations, one at least, to get organized and truly the moral principles of a democracy.
All right. Always an interesting perspective. Of course, a very fluid situation. We will continue to monitor this.
Thank you.
Thank you.